my channel. As I mentioned in my previous video, there's a second part to this little series. So today I'm going to show you how I meal prep. And rather than sticking to the same boring, like protein, rice, broccoli, I decided to switch it up. So I'm making some of my favorite dishes, but I'm putting a healthy twist on them so they're better options. And I'm making a variety of dishes because, let's face it, I don't like to eat the exact same thing every day, 5 times a day or whatever. Make sure you like and subscribe. That way you can be the first to know whenever I post a new video. And I also post my everyday lifestyle on my Instagram story and Snapchat. So let's do this. Okay, so for the first step, I'm going to prepare my vegetables. So some of them I'm going to roast in the oven. Got my pan here that I sprayed with some cooking spray. So all I'm going to do is cut these up a little smaller so they don't take so long to bake. Then I'm baking spaghetti squash. So if you've never seen spaghetti squash, this is what it looks like. And I just cut it in half. I'm actually going to cut this again because these pieces are huge. Spraying them with some cooking spray. I know, very tasty, right? And then I'm going to put some pepper. Because I love pepper. Pretty much everything. I'm also going to add some garlic powder. Another one of my staple seasonings. And that's it for my seasoning. Now I have my oven on 400 degrees, so I'm just going to pop these in the oven and let them bake. Some onions, and I like to use garlic. I love garlic. It gives dishes some serious flavor. Okay, so this is a little trick for when you're trying to get the peel off of garlic. Put a knife over it like this, lay it flat, and then ball up your fist and smash it. And then the peel comes out easier. So I'm just going to take the peel off these and use this little lovely time-saving machine, aka food processor. I throw my garlic in there. So I use a food processor to chop up my vegetables and onions, garlic. I'm going to put in the onions with the garlic because these are like my staples. I use them in a lot of dishes. If you've never really liked cauliflower, I'm going to show you how to make something that is pretty yummy. And cauliflower is so diverse, you can do a ton of different things with it. So I just chopped up the head here. When I was growing up, I hated cauliflower and I never really understood what its purpose in life was. I was like, why do people even eat this ugly looking vegetable? But now that I'm older, a little wiser, I know a few tricks. So as you can see, the cauliflower looks kind of like a rice now. So I'm going to put this in the microwave and cook it for about 3 minutes or until it's nice and soft. Spray a little bit of cooking spray. I have some egg here. This is about 4 whole eggs that I just mixed together. Pour this in the pan. While my eggs are cooking, I have my other pan getting hot here. I'm going to put some of the onions and garlic that we made into the pan. Some chopped up portobello mushrooms. These are nice and hearty, so these kind of fill me up. You just let these soften up. Alright, mushrooms are pretty soft, so what I'm going to do is add in that cauliflower rice that we just heated up. I'm going to do a little at a time. I'm going to add in some of this Bragg liquid aminos. It's kind of like a soy sauce alternative. Now I'm going to season it a little bit more with some garlic powder, some pepper. I love pepper. Give it some color, so I'm going to throw in some spinach. So I put about a tablespoon of olive oil in my pan, and I'm just sauteing out some onions and garlic. This is going to give our greens a ton of flavor. So now that the greens have steeped down some, I'm going to add in some garlic powder, some pepper, and some Dijon mustard. Stir it up. And our greens are done. Now I'm going to prepare my shrimp, and for this I'm using some oranges, so I'm just going to squeeze this right on top. Get all of that juice out. And for my seasonings, I'm going to use some ginger. I have some ground ginger here. Some chili powder. Give it a kick. Some garlic powder. And some pepper. For some of you, this might look like a lot of seasoning, but I'm keeping it real. I like a lot of flavor. So I try to combine spices and citruses, different flavors to make it taste really yummy. And this shrimp is actually already cooked, so I'm not going to cook this again since it's going to be microwaved in the end. So I'm just going to leave it like this, but I am going to let it marinate. Next up, I'm going to show you how I make my salmon. So I've got this big piece of salmon, some garlic powder. As you can see, I use this on everything. Pepper, garlic powder. I'm also going to put on some paprika. Put Dijon mustard on my salmon, and it tastes amazing. Then what I like to do is sprinkle some garlic and onions on top. This just gives it some more flavor. I'm going to take my spatula and just kind of spread everything around, melt the flavors together. I'm going to sprinkle this on top. This is just some dried basil. I'm popping my salmon into the oven. It's at 400 degrees right now. So I'm just going to spray my pan with some cooking spray. Place my fish down. I like to place it at an angle so I have some room. You probably already know what I'm beginning with. Garlic powder. Some chili powder. Pepper. Paprika. This gives it a really beautiful color. And let's pop these babies in the oven for about 10 minutes. Next, I'm making my tuna patties. So I have about 5 cans of tuna in here. I'm gonna crack in 5 whole eggs. Pepper. Some onion and garlic. About that much dill. Fresh herbs gives it a ton of flavor. A spoonful about that big. Plop it in there, and then I'm gonna flatten it out and kind of shape it into a patty. So I picked up these containers off of Amazon. First dish, I'm going to measure out a cup of sweet potatoes. That's 1 cup. A cup of my kale greens into each container. Pop it right in there. Okay, next up, I'm gonna add in that cauliflower fried rice that we did. Pack it nice and full. Put it in our dish. I'm gonna add in my shrimp. So, serving of shrimp is about 7 pieces. I'm gonna put in gonna add in some more protein. So, the fish fillets can go right in there. Next I'm going to do my spaghetti squash, so I'm going to do about a cup of the spaghetti squash. Fish. So these little cups came with it, with these containers. So what I'm going to do is put in some of these green onions. I bought this salsa. This is an organic double fire roasted salsa. It's really delicious. 10 calories per 2 tablespoons, and it only has 2 grams of carbs. Finally, I'm gonna do our tuna patties. Cauliflower rice, about half a cup. And I'm actually going to top these all off with some of my leftover greens. So I'm going to add these right on top. I'm going to do 2. So that's pretty much it for my meal prep. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment below with your favorite dish that I made. See you guys next time.